address the risk to sustaining peace posed by disinformation, misinformation, hate speech, and content inciting harm, including content disseminated through digital platforms, while respecting the right to freedom of expression and to privacy, and ensuring unhindered access to the internet in accordance with international law, domestic legislation, and national policies. This is where this really ambiguous, broad language is concerning, is because what does that even mean? Hate speech. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the word that people need to focus on. Hate speech. What is hate speech and who determines what's hate speech? Who determines what's misinformation and disinformation? That, ladies and gentlemen, is the most dangerous thing in all of this. Who's going to determine that? Is it going to be Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum? Is it going to be Bill Gates? Is it going to be the UN? Is it going to be BlackRock and Vanguard? Who is it? Is it going to be this board of elite members from Davos? Nobody knows. Whenever I uploaded the documents and ChatGPT read them, and I asked it, what is the most concerning parts of this document? And that's what it said, is the term hate speech. That is where things are going to start getting really tricky. Page 44 of the Summit of the Future declaration thing that they did a couple weeks ago. And this is under Internet Governance. And you go down to Commitment 29. And Commitment 29A says promote an open, global, interoperable, and reliable internet and take concrete steps to maintain a safe, secure, and enabling online environment for all. So what's so concerning about this commitment here? What worries me is this: promote an open, global, interoperable, and reliable internet. You mean to tell me that these people want a international internet? They want to own all the access to the internet? That's what's concerning. It's almost as if Elon Musk knew this stuff was going to happen. And that's why he put SpaceX out there. And he's the only one that controls SpaceX. Could you imagine if these people at Davos, these people at the World Economic Forum had control of the internet, global internet? This would be insane. And then I'll continue on here. This is still page 44 under the digital trust and safety portion of the commitment. Commitment 31C, it says establish regular collaboration between national online safety institutions to exchange best practices and develop shared understandings of actions to protect privacy, freedom of expression, and access to information while addressing harms. There you go. You think it's going to sound good when it says, oh, we're going to protect the freedom of expression and access to information, until they say, while addressing harms. Again, who determines what's harmful and what's not harmful? This is all the stuff people need to be thinking about. And I'm going to post this to my podcast description so you guys can read it. It's very wild stuff. And how nobody's talking about this is shocking. They want stakeholders, which is stakeholders in the United Nations is countries. They want countries to co-develop a accountability framework. So how to hold people accountable that spread misinformation, or people like Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk here very, very soon is going to have a huge target on his back. I think they're going to try and come after Elon Musk and Twitter. That's exactly what I think they're trying to do. So scrolling down to Commitment 32D says call on social media platforms to establish safe, secure, and accessible reporting mechanisms for users and their advocates to report potential policy violations, including special reporting mechanisms adapted to children and persons with disabilities. So essentially a international snitch line that you can snitch on platforms like X and Facebook when people think there are policy violations. This is all in the document, folks. It's all right here. And then you go down to Commitment 33, which is information integrity. Access to relevant, reliable, and accurate information and knowledge is essential for an inclusive, open, safe, and secure digital space. We recognize that digital and emerging technologies can facilitate can facilitate the manipulation of and interference with information in ways that are harmful to societies and individuals and negatively affect the enjoyment of human rights and fundamental freedoms as well as the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. So who determines what's safe and secure digital space? This is all the ambiguous language that's in here. This is all the vague language that they use to essentially mean whatever they want. Oh, you said the 2020 election was stolen? Well, that's harmful. That could be harmful misinformation, and that could hurt somebody's feelings. So we're going to go ahead and censor that. And which platform was that posted on? Oh, that was posted on X. Okay, X, here's a $200 million fine for violating the United Nations Declaration of Information Integrity. And then this is the most concerning page to me. Page 46 turned out to be, it has the most crazy stuff in it. So you have, under the Information and Integrity section commitment, you have Information Integrity Commitment 33C. It says, provide, promote, and facilitate access to and dissemination of independent, fact-based, timely, targeted, clear, accessible, multilingual, and science-based information to counter misinformation and disinformation. So in other words, they're going to ratio people that they think are giving the right information, which is most likely the government, or whichever narrative the government supports, and then they're going to stomp out the other side of the story that they see as disseminating misinformation on social media. All this hinders around social media. These people are trying to get control of our social media outlets. I'm running out of time here. I got to finish this up. We only got a few left. So Commitment 36B, call on social media platforms to provide researchers access to data with safeguards for users' privacy to ensure transparency and accountability, to build an evidence base on how to address misinformation and disinformation and hate speech that can inform government and industry policies, standards, and best practices. So in other words, this new international government wants control over the databases of all the social media networks. Oh, I'm sure they're not going to do anything bad with our data. Imagine all the data, Facebook and X and all of them. Imagine all the data that these people have on everybody. And they want this international government, this so-called, World Economic Forum or Summit of the Future, they want them to have access to it. You can see how bad this is going to get, folks, if we don't push back on this. They're working on this because the American people are starting to unplug themselves from this matrix, because the American people are starting to push back. They're starting to wake up, man. People don't want to surrender their liberty and freedom for security. And so they need to make sure that they implement this as fast as possible. And I guarantee you, if Kamala wins, it's over. They'll have something like this. They'll figure out a way to get rid of Elon. They'll figure out a way to get him to bend the knee or surrender his platform. They'll figure it out.